Hi everyone, happy Monday. Made it through another weekend of weekends are just chaos at my house. But here to go over the last week of expenses, the 8th through the 14th, I believe. Don't quote me on that. You would think that I would look at a calendar before I started this. I did not. I'm just like winging it. So, on Monday, the 8th, yes. I'm putting this under medical, which is only slightly debatable, only because I took my 9-year-old to the ENT and got her ear pierced. And yes, one ear. She got them pierced like a year and a half ago. And one just did not work out. It came out and the hole partially closed up and it was no longer right. So we took it out and left it for a couple months. And it was good and we had time. And I would do this again. This was nice. It was in the doctor's office. It was nice and sterile. It was quick and it only cost me $25. Versus like going to Claire's and you have to pay for like the $50 earrings and then it's some person who just got handed this ear piercing tool and said have at it, essentially. So I liked that a lot better. That was great. And then after we got done with that, it took all of 2 seconds. I think the doctor was, because it was the actual ENT who did it, and he was in the room for like 10 seconds and that was it. But after that, we did go and put gas in the car, and that was $39 because my car was telling me that it needed gas. After when it has like 40 miles left in the range, it starts like letting me know every single time I turn on the car. It's like, that's just rude, I know, but it'll do it. And also that day, one of my kids, and I can't remember which one. No, I can't remember which one. One of them used enough in their school account that it dropped it below the threshold I have set, and it automatically refills. I do an automatic refill of $50 because that'll get them through a couple of weeks, hopefully, depending on how much they're actually buying at school. Oh, I do know, because the next day another one came out. So this was my 9-year-old. She bought lunch. I think it was those crispy chicken sandwiches at lunch that day, and those are good. She bought lunch, and then the next day, you know what, at some point I really should look up how to spell these, but we're just going with it. I didn't get very much at the grocery store on Tuesday. It was just $44.21. My fours look weird there. My apologies. And it was just veggies and kid snacks and my protein bars. It wasn't very much, and it wasn't like meals and stuff, but it still comes from groceries. And like I said, the next day, on Tuesday, my teenager used enough of her money in her account that it auto refilled hers also. And I planned this. I planned it. I checked Amazon and I checked Sam's Club. And I ordered from Sam's Club because they said that my diapers would get delivered on Thursday the 11th. And I knew that I had enough diapers to get through that. It was timed great. Amazon wasn't till Monday. Fine. Come Thursday, perfect timing. No. Oh, of course not. I had the timing done perfectly, but no. But I still paid $84.91. And that was for a box of diapers and a container of formula. Babies are expensive. So it was supposed to come Thursday. It did not. As an FYI. So there will be another baby thing in here for diapers again. It was annoying. Oh, I know what this is. Okay, I was wondering why there was gas like 2 times. Because the first one was me filling up our family car, and the second one is my husband filling up his truck, and he somehow did $50.05. It is not filling up his truck for $50, not even close. But he put enough in to get through. He doesn't drive his truck a ton. We do use it. We went, he uses it to haul things and pick up car parts, and for 4th of July, we'll sit in the bed of it and watch fireworks, which is great fun, and I love it. We now have to take 2 cars to do that with 2 babies, but it's fine. The truck actually does truck things, and my husband will complain about people with trucks that don't do truck things. This is my husband's medical, and it was just a $50 copay for what he was doing. So this baby's from Sam's Club that was supposed to come on Thursday did not, which meant as I was running back and forth across town getting kids to dance classes, I then stopped at the store and got the small, the Sam's Club is like the 200 diapers box, but I got the small like 30 diapers and that's it. That's all I got at the store. The candy aisle was very tempting, but that was $10.27 for just 30 diapers. Kids are, see, we're in the 2 expensive parts. We're in the like older kids activities, running them around everywhere, school stuff going on, and then we're also in the super expensive babies and diapers and formulas and wipes and new outfits every 4 months, and we're just in it all, apparently. But that was the only thing on Thursday. On Friday, this is going under school things. Our teenager is in band, and they were doing all their band pictures. And so we bought her pictures. She's a freshman, so it'll be, I kind of want to do every year and just see how she goes through it. But the couple of pictures that we bought ended up costing $36.55. But you see, there's not a ton every day. There's just something every day, and so that always ends up adding up. And then Saturday, if you remember, a week or 2 ago, we bought paint for our kitchen, and we opened up the first can, and my husband painted all of our upper cabinets, because our upper cabinets and our lower cabinets are 2 different colors. So we did that, and so while he did that, I took all 4 kids out, and we found, well, they wanted boba, and the boba place was closed. For some reason, I don't know why, they just had a sign on the door saying that they were closed from Thursday to Monday. Of course, the one day that I actually will take my kids to go get boba, they were closed. So we found a coffee shop, and we got 3 drinks. The babies didn't get drinks. And it wasn't that bad. And actually, now I'm thinking it's 3 drinks and 2 pastries for $15. That's actually not that bad. I don't know why I didn't fully think about that before right now. But the other thing that I did on Saturday was I put in a pickup order for our grocery store that, you know, sells all the other stuff too. You can even buy clothes there. I feel like they want to be like Target. That's always my feeling. And that totaled $191.29. But that is being split between household and groceries. No, household. I said baby and I don't know why. It should be household and groceries. Yeah. That's weird. I don't know why I did that. I do have a little cheat sheet that has everything written out and little notes on it so that I'm not trying to figure it, and that takes me like 3 times longer than doing this video. But household is just $20, and that was like toothpaste and floss. And then the groceries was the other $171.29, and that did all of our proteins and veggies, and I did load up my kids on snacks and stuff, and I got a little extra for my 9-year-old to take to her classroom, so they have a little stash for when kids don't bring snacks or forget snacks, so that nobody is left out and nobody's hungry or anything. So I like replenishing that every once in a while. And then yesterday, as planned, we did plan this. We went back to the fair, and we lucked out a little bit because as we were walking up to the gates, there was somebody asking if we needed tickets. And yes, we did. We had 1 or 2 already, because we took one of my daughter's friends and she had tickets. So we ended up getting in for free for all of us because somebody had bought too many tickets, I guess. But was not free was the food. And so technically in my banking app, this is like 3 different transactions. But you know what? I didn't feel like writing 3 different transactions. I did it last week where I wrote everybody's different transaction, and I was like, nah, don't need to do that again. So I just combined it this time just to make it easier for me. And feeding, how many people did we feed? 3.5. I brought my own food because of a diet that I'm on. I couldn't eat any of the fair food, which I did not think about when I went on this last week, but it's fine. But I have 3.5, I guess, because a toddler just snacks off of other people's, ended up being $36.40. And I think the majority of that was a burger, a plain burger. It was the patty and cheese and ketchup. That was it. Was still like $18. It was ridiculous. But that's the fair. That evening, so we came home. It started raining for a little bit, so we came home for a couple hours, and then some of us went back to the fair and bought ride tickets and did a couple of rides because it was the last night. And that was $30, and of course with tax it's $30.90. Ooh, tax. Every time. And then, so on Friday, I went to the high school football game, and my daughter was having pictures taken. She's in the band. She performs at halftime. She's on the dance team. She performs sidelines the entire time. It was a wonderful to watch her and everything. However, I was sitting on those bleachers for almost 5 hours, and I went, not happening again. And my husband's going to the game this Friday, so we're switching off so we don't have to take the babies and try to handle them, and we can just focus and watch our child. So I'm putting it under household. And it's a bleacher seat and Oops. And batteries. We were out of AAA batteries. We needed batteries. And that came out to $53.73. So overall, not a ton of transactions, but there are a couple like 50, 50, 80, 50, 50, 170, 50. There's larger ones. There's not a ton. And I do go through and I look at, especially at this point, because we're halfway through the month. I mean, I look every single time I add a transaction into our tracking system. But I go through, and I don't have a better system for these videos to do this, but I will go through and just check the balance. So halfway through the month, our grocery budget is down to $291.28. And I think we might be okay. It's 2 more weeks, so it's about $150 a week. I really stocked up on snacks and stuff, so hopefully this is just for dinners and some lunches. We'll have to see. Eating out, we still have $168.06 in there, which we tend to only eat out one day, which has been the fare the last 2 weeks. But I can't eat out anymore, so not quite sure what's going to happen with this. My poor children keep offering me food at the fair, and I was like, I can't. Or the salespeople would be like, here, try this. And I'm like, no, it doesn't fit in. And they looked so sad when they remembered. But I'm actually doing pretty good, surprisingly. Home projects, because this one rolls over, we still have $2 left in. Oh, I put 209. It's $2.91. Oops. That's fine. It's $2.91 left in this. But we have nothing else coming out of this month. This month's home projects was for the paint for the kitchen. And based on how long it took us to paint the upper cabinets, which toddlers cannot get to, not quite sure how long it's going to take to do the lower cabinets that toddlers can get to. We work during the week while she's at daycare, so we're trying to figure out how to do this. Dates has been rolling over for months, and we never did do a big date after we paid off our car, so that money is still just kind of sitting here. We have gone to like coffee dates, or we did a breakfast date, I think 2 or 3 months ago. That was fun. So I think it's just gonna kind of sit there for a little bit. A bunch of our streamings, well, I don't say a bunch, maybe half, came out at the beginning of the month. So we still have $31 left in that. Part of why I took the chair from household is because that still has $110 in it, and I'm not needing toilet paper, paper towels, laundry detergent, any of that bigger stuff that I buy from Sam's Club in bulk. So it usually lasts a little while. So that's why I took the chair from that, because I knew that we had extra there. And it is kind of for the household. It's for us to not die on sitting on bleachers for hours on end. Gas still has, at this very moment, it'll change later today, $173 in it. I know, my car's got like 70 miles left in the range, so I'm gonna fill it up. It's fine. 173 should be enough to get through the month. Clothing still has $83.31 in it. I don't think there was no clothing this week, but there has been previously this month with trying to find pants for babies and stuff. Baby still has $146.82, and I'm sure we'll need more formula. We always need more. I feel like every single time I buy formula, we need more formula. I'm still waiting for the daycare to say that they're low, which is I usually keep one unopened container on hand at all times. Because I can't see how much formula is left at the daycare. So, whenever I open the last one, I buy a new one. Coffee. I somehow did this quite nicely. 6 cents. Huh? I mean, that means we can't do anything for the rest of the month, which is fine because we don't usually anyways. Other has $25.37 in it. You know what? Kids. I don't even remember what I used kids for. You know what? Probably for earrings. $14.26. And then school stuff. Because we funded this a bit. Because it's new to us and we're not quite sure how it's going to work out. But it's for stuff like pictures and field trips and fundraisers and stuff. So having the money sitting there is just better for us. That still has $106.51 in it. So, not bad. Grocery, I'm a little iffy about. But with me not eating out at all, eating out might be overfunded this month. Just something is different every month. Every month I think like, this is the month I got a handle on it. I know how much we've been eating out. I know how much we've been paying for groceries, and then something changes. I go on this diet, which throws both of those categories off slightly. But it's a really healthy, like, lean proteins and veggies every meal, and you can have some of these good fats, and here's a list of carbs that you can have. And so, it's really good for me, and it's very healthy, and my family doesn't entirely suffer from it. Like, I made a sauce I couldn't eat. It had all the butter and heavy cream and in it. But I did still make the sauce for my family for the chicken that I made. And then it's just a veggie and rice. So, it's been good though. The fare was a little hard. That made me a little sad. But I think we're doing pretty good halfway through the month. Some of these we're not planning on touching. School stuff, I don't see anything else coming out of. Clothing, I don't see anything else coming out of this month. The only slight thing is both older kids already reloaded their quote unquote lunch money, but they can also buy breakfast with it. So hopefully that'll last them through the month. If not, we'll just have to adjust. And we'll get through it. Thank you for being here and listening to me and seeing the insight into all the things that I spend money on in a week. I hope you have a great week. Thank you.